if you haven't watched Star Wars yet, then don't listen to this, because I'm about to spoil the fuck out of it, alright? Please just turn it off, alright? Listen after you watch the movie, okay? And I'm talking about The Force Awakens, alright? And then if you haven't watched the other ones, I really don't give a shit because you've had plenty of time for that. But listen, if you haven't seen The Force Awakens yet, just stop listening. Alright? If you have, enjoy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Cooley from the Redbeard Podcast, and you are hanging with Cooley. It's Friday, December 18th, and you know what that means, right? Yeah, man. It is the day that Star Wars Episode 7 is officially released. But I was lucky enough to see it yesterday with my brother Relic. We got there early enough to cash in our vouchers for the tickets, chill out, get something to eat, and then wait in line. And we still had about an hour and a half before the movie started, so I'd used the time to actually talk to some of the fans. And as promised, I'm going to share some of the pre-movie excitement with you, so here we go. Okay, sir, what's your favorite Star Wars moment?
When Luke wants to go to Tashi Station but acts like a little bitch.
Tell me, what are you looking forward to the most in this movie?
I'm looking forward to Kylo Ren fucking shit up, and hopefully none of my favorites die.
All right, so what's your favorite Star Wars moment, man?
I'd have to say when the last moment of Yoda, when he goes down and dies, that I'd honestly say that was like a traumatic moment in the whole series, because I've seen all 6 episodes.
Right.
And, you know, I liked how like the whole, you start off with 4, 5, and 6, we move on to 1, 2, and 3, but I mean, you get to like really see how he connected with all the characters and how like you get that bond, and then you just see him go down like that, and it kind of killed, like, you know, damn, there goes the Star Wars for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can get into that.
But when it comes to Star Wars Episode 7 now, I didn't really look into this as much because I'm very excited about the movie. I love Star Wars. Like I said, I've seen all of them. I've watched them millions of times. And, you know, Star Wars Episode 7, they're coming out with all this stuff now, and it's like, should I really look into it? No, I'd rather be just... I want to get this experience for myself. It's supposed to be all new things. It's supposed to be like, you know, new characters, new people.
I hear you.
You know, I feel like it's going to be definitely an experience to bring me back into the whole series again.
So what would you say if I told you I knew everything about this movie already? Like, I can tell you whatever you want, man.
I don't want to hear the spoilers, man. It'll kill me.
You sure?
It'll kill me. Yeah, I'm positive.
All right, now I'll keep it quiet, man. I'll respect that.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man, thanks.
No problem.
So what's your favorite Star Wars moment?
Oh, I don't know.
What's your favorite Star Wars moment?
Right now.
Excellent answer. All right. What are you looking forward to the most?
Finding out what happens.
Okay, yeah. Very simple guy, man. A few words. I like it. How about you, sir?
Favorite Star Wars moment?
Favorite Star Wars moment.
You brought up a good point. It's got to be. You know what I think is when Luke cut off his father's hand, same as his father cut off his.
All right. Good one.
Retribution.
What are you looking forward to the most here?
It's. I gotta say the opening crawl, man. Everybody loves reading the opening crawl.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No, we're not gonna see the Fox films anymore. It's gonna be
True.
Disney.
True. You think it's gonna be Bad Robot? Bad Robot.
No, that'd be interesting. What would be really bad is if they show the Disney symbol, but still, like, maybe they bought the rights to use Fox's opening music. That would be great.
All right.
Oh, here you go. Surprise. We knew you'd miss it.
What's your favorite Star Wars moment, man?
On Dagobah, when they play Yoda's theme and he lifts the X-Wing out of the swamp for the first time, and you first get the idea of how strong the Force is.
All right, cool. And what are you looking forward to the most in this movie?
Any small, minuscule dialogue between Han and Chewie. That's just like them having fun, talking. That's all I want to say.
Awesome, thank you. What is your favorite Star Wars moment?
Revenge of the Sith. And my favorite part of it is when Darth Vader rises up and says, "No!"
Nice. How about, what are you looking forward to the most in this movie?
I'm looking forward for BB-8 awesomeness.
Yes, and I think you're going to get a lot of that.
Yeah.
All right. So how about you? What's your favorite Star Wars moment?
I think my favorite Star Wars moment, I'm going to go with one of my favorites from when I was a kid, was when, in Return of the Jedi, Princess Leia killed Jabba the Hutt.
Okay.
When I was a little girl, that was just really amazing and awesome to me. And then the whole fight with the Sarlacc after that, that was pretty sweet.
That's cool. That's cool. And what are you looking forward to in this movie?
Oh my goodness. I want to know what's going on with Luke.
All right.
That's what I want to know.
I think that's what a lot of people want to know, right? Like, because why is he not in the trailer? Why is he not on the poster? What's going on?
I know.
But we know he's in
I'm
it,
dying.
right?
We know he's in it, but I'm dying to find out what's happened to Luke.
Good one. So for me, my favorite Star Wars moment ever would have to be the scene where Darth Vader announces to Luke that he's his father. It's the most iconic moment. It's the thing that everybody remembers. And yeah, it's a little cliche, but I mean, come on, it's iconic for a reason. I mean, I am your father, right? Like, come on, dude, that sent chills down my spine the first time I heard it. And every time after, it's what I always look forward to in Empire Strikes Back. So, and Empire Strikes Back to me is the best movie out of the trilogy. So yeah, I mean, to me, that's the best thing ever. So the thing I'm looking forward to the most when I go to see this movie, or when I went to go see this movie yesterday, was just finding out who Kylo Ren was and just finding out more about him, because for me, the villains are the most interesting part of Star Wars. And when it comes to interesting villains, this movie delivers in spades. Kylo Ren is basically a walking temper tantrum. I mean, the guy stomps everywhere. He's like, he lashes out with anger at everything. So he's a lot less controlled than your Darth Vader or your Darth Maul, where Vader is very stoic and subtle. And you have Darth Maul, who's just seething with hatred and anger, but he uses it in a controlled fashion. Ren is the exact opposite. He just lashes out at every chance that he gets, which is probably a big reason why he's not as powerful as he could be. Just imagine the power and the strength that Kylo Ren would have if he could channel and focus his anger instead of lashing out at inanimate objects whenever he gets pissed, right? Just save that energy and use it in battle. He would be unstoppable. So going forward, as he completes his training with Supreme Leader Snoke, I think he's going to learn how to do that and actually become the villain that everybody expects. But who is Kylo Ren really? The answer to that question was revealed in the film, and he is the son of Han Solo and Princess Leia, or General Leia at this point. Big reveal there is that he's Darth Vader's grandson, and he's been brought over to the dark side. He was seduced by the dark side, and his viewpoint is really skewed. Like, he really feels like he's the good guy. He feels like he is avenging his grandfather and finishing his work. His point of view is really skewed. Like, he feels like the resistance they're the bad guys, they're the murderers, the thieves, and he is actually just trying to restore order to the galaxy. And it's this skewed perception that really makes the character interesting. It makes it, he's not just dark or light. There's this gray area with him. Like, we all feel for him. Like, his performance, Adam Driver nails this shit, because his performance, especially at the time that he kills his father, I mean, how that's going to end up. There's no way that he's not going to kill Han Solo. But during his performance, you could feel the struggle within him, and it was just so powerful. Like, you really felt for this kid. It was emotional, and man, just the fact that when he ended up killing him, like, I felt bad for him, because now he's got to live with that shit. And at some point, he's probably going to come back to the light. I mean, that's how I feel. Star Wars has always been about redemption and about somebody not being too far gone and being able to bring them back. And we know that that's how this is going to end up. So, like, it was heart-wrenching. And plus, it was Han Solo. I mean, shit, of course it's heart-wrenching. I mean, this is one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars, and he got stuck in the chest with a lightsaber and dropped off a bridge. Like, there's no way that he survived that. And, gotta say, at some point, we gotta have a memorial for this dude. Han Solo is definitely one of the greatest characters of all time. And it sucked that he's gone. But the show goes on. And I'm not going to worry about it too much, because it's been widely reported that Harrison Ford does not want to be in the movies anymore. He was rallying to be killed off in Empire Strikes Back. He most likely requested to be killed off in this movie if he agreed to do it. So, that said, I bid a fond farewell to Han Solo. And I open my arms and welcome to these new characters. The new characters are awesome. And I'm going to start off much like the movie with Poe Dameron. Great character, ace pilot, a lot like Maverick and Top Gun, very cavalier, very charismatic, but he's going to come through. Like, this is a guy that is definitely the best pilot in the galaxy and knows it. There wasn't a lot of screen time dedicated to him because he's not a main character, not yet, but you get enough that you know that you want more. So he gets captured by the First Order, right? We get introduced to Kylo Ren at that point, and, you know, this guy gets captured and interrogated because they know that he has information about where Luke Skywalker is. Luke Skywalker is the last Jedi and the last real threat to the First Order, so they're trying to kill this dude and get rid of the Jedi altogether, and that way there's no resistance, real resistance for the First Order. So they kidnap this dude and basically torture him and interrogate him, and, you know, they're about to kill him, and he gets rescued by my next favorite character, which is Finn. Finn, his backstory is fucking awesome. Probably the best backstory, in my opinion, in Star Wars so far. The fact that he's a stormtrooper that decides on his own that he does not want anything to do with the First Order or the Empire or whatever. Like, it's just, this isn't what he wants. He was kidnapped at a young age, taken away from his family, and his family was killed, and he was forced and programmed to be a stormtrooper. He makes a conscious decision to not be a stormtrooper, not to kill for the First Order, and to escape and take Poe Dameron with him. His reasons for rescuing Poe weren't all that altruistic. Of course, he was just looking for a pilot to get him off that Star Destroyer. But once they get off that Star Destroyer together and he ends up on Jakku and meets Rey, it's just magic, man. I mean, this kid becomes a hero. He was definitely a stormtrooper at the beginning of the movie and ends up being one of the key pieces of the Resistance that, you know, you just know is going to be a major part of the next two movies. Which is cool because he's not your typical Star Wars character. I mean, the fact that he was a stormtrooper first makes him a super interesting character, man. So, you know, bravo to J.J. Abrams and the writing team, because that was awesome. Nobody saw that coming. A stormtrooper that becomes a hero. And he becomes a hero because of Rey. Now, here's a character that is basically your Luke Skywalker character for this movie. She's a desert kid that doesn't really have anything going for her, but the difference between her and Luke is that she's not seeking adventure. She's not trying to get out there and help the Resistance. Like, she's intrigued by the shit. Like, she's thought about the Resistance, and, you know, she's very impressed with Finn when she meets him, and she's like, oh, I've never met anybody from the Resistance before. But she's not looking to do that. Like, her main purpose in life right now is just kind of trying to buy time and wait for her parents to come back for her because she was left on Jakku at a young age. So that's what makes her story interesting, is that she doesn't really want anything to do with this. Like, it feels like even though it's her parents coming back that seem to be, like, you know, holding her there on Jakku, like wanting to go back to that planet, it seems like that's the reason, and she probably would be okay with leaving if she knew her parents were okay. I don't really feel that way, though. I feel like she just wants to be part of a family. And that's something that she's been waiting for all her life, and she just wants to get back home. So it's a really cool dynamic for that character because she's got the goods, man. She is agile, she's resourceful, she can hold her own in a fight. I mean, she's definitely somebody in the Star Wars universe. Like, I don't know who yet, but I do have my theories. I'm going to get into that right now, actually, because what better time? I feel like she is Kylo Ren's sister. I don't know how nobody knows this yet, like how, like, when they find her and Han sees her, like, I don't know how he doesn't recognize her as his daughter. I don't know how Kylo Ren doesn't just blurt out, oh, you're my sister. And I got a feeling that it's because Luke had some hand in that. Like, I think Luke may have done some mind wiping using the Force, which is a power that he probably shouldn't have used, which is, like, more dark side oriented. But at the same time, I feel like that may be why he exiled himself, because he had to hide the girl, right? So, like, he's training both of them. You get the First Order that comes and takes Kylo Ren and, you know, kills all the Jedi there, all the new Jedi. He saves Kylo Ren's sister and hides her. Much like, because we've already established that they follow a lot of the same beats as the Star Wars movie. And if you're following the same